Now at 6:30 on WKYT this morning, why a Lexington homeowner says he tackled a man that he caught this morning in his garage, and why he says he might not do the same thing if it happened again.
A Lexington woman is accused of exploiting her disabled sister, who she's supposed to be caring for.
And the NFL is praising a settlement in concussion lawsuits filed by more than 5,000 former players.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. About 35 degrees as we hit the air again here at 6:30 and welcome you in. A chilly start to the day. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. I guess it pays off in this case to be a procrastinator in terms of planting, because you'll have to be covering those right now.
Yeah, for once you get a reward for being slow to go on things. All right, let's check in. Meteorologist Micah Harris is tracking this frost advisory this morning.
Yeah, and the frost advisory goes for every single person this morning, and that goes into effect for most until 9 a.m. Outside at this moment, temperature-wise, you can see that we have the clearing of the sky. Sun's about to rise there in Frankfort here in just about 30 to 45 minutes. And temperature-wise, it's chilly. We're at 35 degrees in the capital city and Franklin County. Over toward the southeast, Jackson at 38. Richmond going to the Big Hill area right there at the intersection coming out of Berea, 21, 421. Sliding down into McKee and also Sand Gap. We're holding on to temperatures in the 30s. It's really, really chilly this morning, especially for this time of year. But it's that late winter that we look for in late April, early May. Seems like it happens every single year. 58 degrees this afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Good looking day, but we'll still get those winds cranking up, so we'll be on the cool side for much of your day. Going in toward the overnight hours, here comes another frost potential advisory. I would suspect they would put that out, and I'll show you where that is located coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, see you in just a bit. Here's the latest now.
Well, there were some startling moments for this Lexington homeowner. This happened after catching a man in his garage, and he chased after him.
But it's what happened next that makes this story so unusual this morning. WKYT's Victor Puente has talked with that homeowner, and he's joining us live from the scene with a story that is new this morning. Victor, good morning.
Good morning, guys. The man who chased that would-be thief down tells me if he had thought about it, he might not have done it, but he was able to hold him until police arrived. Kunte Hayes tells me he came out to his garage as he was getting ready for work this morning. When he turned on the lights, he saw someone in his car. Police say he'd accidentally left his garage door open, and at some point a man snuck inside and was going through that vehicle when Hayes caught him. He told me the man took off running, and his instinct was to go after him. He eventually caught him, was able to hold him until police arrived. He says there was a bit of a scuffle, but no one was seriously hurt. The man didn't say anything to him.
I got an adrenaline rush a little bit. You know, if I had thought about it, maybe I wouldn't have done it. But, you know, it was just a reaction, and then, you know, just trying to protect my family, and that's really it.
Police haven't released the name of the man who was caught. They tell us he'll be charged with second-degree burglary. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
All right, Victor, thank you very much. And new this morning, some Lexington parents are accused of abusing children. Police say Daniel Nance physically abused his two stepsons, who are both under the age of 12. He is charged with criminal abuse. The boy's mother, Alicia Nance, is also charged. Police say she allowed the abuse to happen.
Also new this morning, a woman is in jail accused of exploiting her disabled sister. Lexington police say the victim's home was unfit to live in. WKYT's Mark Barber is live in Lexington with the details on this.
Good morning, Rebecca. Police say that the 60-year-old woman is charged with exploiting an adult after investigators found her disabled sister living in very poor conditions, depending on neighbors for food. According to an arrest citation, Terry Neal was her sister's caregiver. Police say after they responded to a welfare check and found her sister living in a home without food or running water, Neal was arrested at a home on Silver Maple Way. We've learned from an arrest citation that Neal's sister is blind in one eye, has limited mobility, and is not able to care for herself. Officers say the woman told them that her money was gone, so she couldn't get food or water on her own. Investigators tell us that the woman told them that she had not eaten since the day before and had been relying on neighbors for food and water. Police say the electricity to the home had just been restored. Her 60-year-old sister will be arraigned on the exploitation charges this afternoon. Neal will also be arraigned in another case later today on charges of failure to appear in court on trespassing charges. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. 6:34 now on WKYT this morning. The son of presidential candidate Kentucky U.S. Senator Rand Paul has been cited for DUI in Lexington. Police say 22-year-old William Paul crashed into a parked car on Woodland Avenue. An officer said Paul smelled of alcohol, had slurred speech, and was belligerent. He was taken to a hospital to be treated for injuries to his face. Because of that, police say he was cited rather than arrested. This isn't William Paul's first alcohol-related charge. He was arrested in 2013 at the Charlotte Douglas Airport for being drunk and assaulting a flight attendant, and later that year he was cited at Keeneland for alcohol possession by a minor. In response to the recent citation, a spokesperson for the presidential candidate says, quote, Senator Rand Paul does not comment on any private matters in regards to his family.
Well, we now know the identity of a man hit and killed by a train in Scott County. That crash happened yesterday at a farm off Rogers Gap Road north of Georgetown. The sheriff says 80-year-old Stanley Hammonds was driving a dump truck that was hit by the train. Some local religious leaders worry that Lexington's latest murder could be a hate crime. Salahuddin Jitmood was stabbed to death on Trent Circle over the weekend while delivering pizza. Police do not have many leads in the case. Jitmood's friend and board member at his mosque says the 22-year-old will be missed.
At our fundraiser for the building of our mosque, and he was serving food with a big smile as he usually does.
A group of religious leaders around Lexington now talking about ways to try and reduce crime in the city.
The theft of more than $100,000 worth of bourbon from 2 Central Kentucky distilleries is still grabbing attention around the world this morning. The Franklin County Grand Jury indicted 9 people in connection to the case. And Sheriff Pat Melton says since that announcement, he's been hearing from news outlets around the world. Bourbon industry experts say there is always a lot of interest in Pappy Van Winkle bourbon. Interest has increased since the theft. Some bottles of Pappy can cost thousands of dollars.
Well, police in northern Kentucky looking for a man who tried to get a girl into his van. Edgewood police in Kenton County say the 10-year-old was walking in a neighborhood when the man approached her. The girl says the man told her to get in his van because her mother had been hurt. She didn't believe him and threatened to contact police. That's when that man drove away.
We live 2 blocks away from the police department. And if it can happen right here, I mean, my God, it can happen anywhere.
Edgewood police say this is similar to an attempted luring that happened last week in Grant County. Police say the 2 are not connected. Well, the NFL is praising a settlement in concussion lawsuits filed by more than 5,000 former players.
A federal judge approved the agreement yesterday, and as Don Champion reports now, it could cost the league $1 billion.
The approved settlement means the NFL will offer payouts over 65 years.
They did the right thing.
Under the deal, players like Mitch White could be given, on average, individual awards of $190,000. White took a big hit on a practice field 8 years ago and has battled pain, confusion, and depression ever since. Other awards could reach $1 to $5 million for players diagnosed with concussion-related diseases or for those who die from chronic brain trauma.
There's just no denying that there's a lot of guys out there like me that are dealing with the strange injury of brain injuries.
Lawsuits claim the NFL failed to protect players from the risk of concussions. Now the league may never have to disclose what it knew about the effects or when. In a statement, the league called the settlement fair, saying, quote, retirees and their families will be eligible for prompt and substantial benefits and will avoid years of costly litigation. Players like Bobby Hebert say the lawsuits have brought about awareness.
When I look back in 1989 when I got knocked out of the game in Tampa, got my front teeth knocked out. I played the next Sunday. I would sit out today. So at least they doing the right thing going forward.
The payout process could start this summer, but any court appeals would delay it indefinitely. Don Champion, CBS News, New York.
And about 200 NFL retirees or their families have rejected the settlement and plan to sue the league individually. And that includes the family of Junior Seau, the Hall of Famer who killed himself at his San Diego area home in 2012 after several years of increasingly erratic behavior. The NFL attempting to address that all at this point.
Yeah, it's a very serious issue.
Yeah. We have an update this morning on a Kentucky canine officer shot in the line of duty. It is an encouraging report.
Glad to hear that this little doggy's stays on the men. Prosecutor Rob Sanders tweeted this photo of Officer Ernie. Covington police say Dalian Rice shot Officer Ernie twice yesterday morning during a chase. Rice was wanted for stabbing his mother. He was eventually caught a couple hours after the shooting and now faces several charges, including attempted murder of a police officer and assaulting a police service animal. Glad to see that little doggy doing okay.
On the mend, yeah.
Hundreds of people lined up at a Pulaski County store last night to meet the Harrison twins.
Former UK basketball players Andrew and Aaron Harrison signed autographs and posed for pictures with fans at Sleep Outers in Somerset. The fan who was first in line told us that she waited 6 hours. Around 300 people showed up for the autograph signing. So,
I wonder if the Harrison twins are looking for a new mattress at Sleep Outfitters. I don't know.
they have to have a long
They would have to have a
wouldn't they?
California King, I think, for those two.
There you go. Well, a big crowd there. Anytime you have Wildcats out in the state, they draw a crowd.
Folks love their Wildcats. Let's check to see how things are moving out on the roads. Hopefully, the traffic is something to love this morning.
Here is Officer Don with live drive traffic. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, not too crazy at the moment. In fact, it's pretty light on the Circle in Man-O-War. Interstate looks good, 75 north and southbound. Just had a look at the exit ramps, Winchester Road, also Athens, Boonesboro, and I-75. We'll show you what's happening right now as you get a live look at the city. That is South Broadway and High Street. On our Waze map, we're all clear on the Circle, also looking good downtown. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, Don, thank you very much. Speaking of crazy, I think I hear Deanne back there in the background.
But he means in the nicest way possible, right?
Officer Don and Deanne on 98.1 The Bull when you get in your car. Give them a listen.
We never see her on this show, but you're always talking about her. You're always giving her
oh, she's fun.
A little bit of mess.
6:41 now. WKYT this morning on the air on your Thursday, rolling toward the weekend now.
Well, the First Lady has to be ready for any kind of question, especially when kids are involved. We'll show you what happened when one little lady asked Michelle Obama a question that many adults would not ask.
You know, I do a lot of school talks around here, and kids do ask whatever they want to ask. It's kind of funny. 35 degrees there in Lexington, 32 in Danville and Somerset. It's really chilly outside. We do it all over again tomorrow morning. Show you those temperatures in your weekend forecast up next.